G'day folks, welcome back to Dune Awakening. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm just hanging out here in our guest slash living area slash like dining room. I don't really know what you call this room, but anyway, just to update you guys on progress through all of the research tree. I'll just quickly show you where I'm at in terms of materials. So we're over the line on plastanium, but not just yet for the spice melange. So gonna need to work on the spice a little bit more. Again, something that I'll do between episodes, but I reckon by the time we come back in the next one, we should have enough spice melange to get our large ore refinery. Now, I was very tempted, guys, because we do have the materials required, perhaps maybe just needing to make some more silicon blocks, which would be very easy to do, but yeah, I was sort of thinking, do I want to just go for the still suit instead? Because, it's probably better to be working with a still suit while we're still sort of exploring Haga Basin and not really doing any heavy fighting, so to speak. But you know what? I'll be disciplined and I'll get the large ore refinery, because as soon as we get that plus the medium spice refinery, I should be able to progress a lot faster in everything else that I want to get, including the still suit. It just means that we'll obviously need to wait a little bit more before we get those things, because we do want to try and get the sandcrawler and the carrier orni, so there's a lot of work to be done to get all of those, and we're going to need a lot of that spice and a lot of the plastanium anyway, right? So the more efficient we make it, the better. So before we get going, let me just also talk to you guys about the condition of the base. So I was sort of preparing for the episode, and I've just realized how bad the base is looking at the moment. So I'm going to need to spend a lot of time just repairing this place, which shouldn't really take me too long, but it's probably going to demand quite a lot of basalt. So I'll again try to do that between episodes, try to repair the entire place. That definitely will be time consuming. But speaking of building, I do have quite a few agave seeds, so I am very keen on trying to just complete some of these banners. Look, we probably don't have enough to do all of the banners, but we'll try and make it work. Or we'll at least try to get as close as possible to completing everything. So we've got banners over there, we've got a couple of banners in here in the bedroom. And I'm looking at this wall, looking pretty horrendous there. Just want to make sure that we're repairing everything. Again, I don't want to focus too much on those while we're, in episode. Let's see. I think I should have a few more banners on the outside which need building. So one over there, and I think there's probably a banner or a couple of banners that I want to set up on this side, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, or maybe not. Yeah, I think I decided not to put any banners here because we've got the windmills working over on this side. Where else? Where else do we have banners? Maybe we have completed all of the banners. I'm thinking we could have some banners down on that platform over there, where we have the garage. Might not be a bad idea. We could do banners up there. I probably would need to, fix up the walls a little bit. And speaking of fixing the walls, some of these walls are back to front, so I probably need to fix that at some point. Let's just take a look at what's going on here. Yeah, I think we're probably missing like a couple of banners in this area. So one over there. And then, yeah, just another one up here, if I can reach it. Okay, there we go. So, looking good. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of other sort of detailed small bits and pieces that I could, you know, add to the base, but I might reserve that for another episode, because I do want to get quite a few things done, and one of the first things that I want to do is to actually continue with the Advanced Mentat quest line. I know we were dealing with the trooper in the previous episode, and we probably just need to go see her after her operation. So we shall do that, but I figure we could probably do a couple of things, well, sorry, like at least we could do the Mentat quest line before we even go, you know, back to Arakeen and Hako Village, and that way we'll at least hit two birds with one stone, if that makes sense, because that way we're not sort of going toing and froing all the time, just making sure that we've got enough fuel. I do need to make quite a lot more lubricant, so might get that in order right now before we leave. But yeah, maintaining the base in Dune Awakening, especially if you have a big one, I would imagine anyone who plays closer to the point where they're at the end game will have a base of a, you know, a decent size. And yeah, it can become a bit of a chore just trying to maintain the place. I'm out of silicon blocks as well, so oh, good thing I've got enough flour sand for that, so we'll work on that. Make use of our water. But yeah, the next part of the Advanced Mentat questline is really to, I think, assassinate a target, if I'm not mistaken, right? We need to go to this place called the Passage of Artemis. And I think that's like an Atreides stronghold. So we're sort of doing an assassination of an Atreides, like, general or commander or whatever. And that's really just to prove a point, or prove the Mentat's point, by exposing like a weakness in the Atreides' ranks. So hopefully, hopefully he gets the job after this, because this is morally dubious. So I think this is the location here. It's only less than 200 meters in front of us. And yeah, I mean, it's always kind of interesting to visit some of the house strongholds, because yeah, it's kind of nice to see how the devs have used some of the build pieces to create their structures. Might not be a bad thing to, you know, inspire us for the next expansion of our own base. But yeah, it is PvP here, so you never know. We could come across another player trying to do their thing here. I mean, it seems pretty quiet out here, so perhaps maybe another player has just been through it. In which case, we could have difficulty trying to complete the quest line. Let me just gather up some dew here. Why not? Or perhaps maybe all of the enemies are just simply inside the stronghold, not exactly outside. There we go. Yep, we've got enemies out here. Okay, sounds like we might have another heavy somewhere. Oh, I didn't realize that that guy was healing. Okay, making a bit of a dent on Landsrad tasks, though I'm not really too fussed about that just yet. Okay. And it still says enter the passage of Artemis, so...
Your water is mine.
Why is it telling us to go out this way? I'm not 100% sure. Unless there's another place that we need to be at. Passage of Artemis. Enter the passage of Artemis. Okay, cool. We had to be here specifically, for whatever reason. Place a Solido decoy as a distraction. Oh, hang on a sec, Do I need to... Yeah, perhaps maybe I need to respec. Let me just take a quick look at our objectives. Use the Hunter Seeker to assassinate the informant. Place a poison mine to cover your tracks. Report back to Zane. Okay. Right. Let me get out of harm's way. We might need to fight our way through once more, but I'm okay with that. I just need to do a little bit of respecking, so I'll, I guess cut you guys back in once we've done that. Alright guys, so I think I've got all of the skills that I need to complete this mission. It is now daytime, but that shouldn't really make a difference, should it? So we need to place a Solido decoy as a distraction. So let's do that first. So we'll place that there. I do see more enemies out there now, so I guess they've all respawned, and just, you know, par for the course, I suppose, since I did take quite a bit of time trying to respec. And now we need to deploy this Hunter Seeker, so let's get that done. And yeah, I mean, we've never really played around with this before, have we? So can this thing be destroyed? I suppose it can. Okay. I suppose maybe I do need to get a little bit closer then. And we can reactivate it. There we go. Oh, what's going on? We seem to be a little bit stuck. Infiltrate the annex with the Hunter Seeker. Yeah. We're almost out of power, though, so... Where's the annex, though? Interactions. Can I refuel it? If I have, like, fuel cells on me, maybe I could do that. Yeah, we're probably going to need to do this again. And that's okay. So where's the target, though? Yeah, not sure actually where the target is, but that's okay. We've got a minute to kill here, and it shouldn't be too bad because I should be able to essentially just kill time by killing these guys and maybe getting a little bit closer to our targets. They seem to be experiencing an attack by the Harkonnen, so there's a bit of activity happening. Infiltrate the attic. Oh, maybe I need to use it through there. Yeah, okay, my bad. I'm misunderstanding the ask. So I guess there's a reason why we specifically needed to be in this location. And that's okay. Let's give this another go. So man, that used up a lot of energy. Yeah. Use the Hunter Seeker to assassinate. So how do I do that?
Who's that?
So maybe Q is what I need to use to actually do some damage.
Reveal yourself.
Yeah, okay. Man, that's such a weird mechanic, I would have to say. I'm not entirely sure if Hunter Seekers are a popular choice. But anyway, it's all done. Let's drop a mine here. And yeah, I'm kind of curious with the mines because I feel like that would be a really good skill to have if we're dealing with like big mobs of enemies. Provided that, you know, we don't damage ourselves using the mines, because it is poison damage. My assumption though is that perhaps maybe it doesn't deal any friendly fire to our own character. Yeah, okay, he's died from the mines. Yeah, so if you're dealing with like big mobs that are pretty spongy, it might not be a bad way to get in tick damage so that you can then finish enemies off a little bit easier later on. So anyway, I'm glad that's over. We now just need to report back to Zane, so that shouldn't really be too difficult. Plus, we're going to the same place to see our trooper trainer, so Kara, I think her name is. So I'll see you guys when we get to Arakeen. Alright, Zane, it is done.
I calculated you... Is it done? Have you put your
The
assassination
informant is
skills to
dead, but
proper use?
this will
Is the
convince
informant dead?
Thufir Hawat that you are a liability.
You do not understand. This is merely the first step. We must enact the rest. Strike again and again until they see, until they all see. They will regret rejecting me. Thufir Hawat, the Harkonnen, the Mentat College, Father, Mother, they will all regret. I was made for use. I was made to serve. Why will no one use me? I've done everything right.
Mentat, analyze what you've just said.
What?
You're a twisted Mentat, crafted by the Ben Tlilu, yes?
Yes, correct.
To twist you, they amplified a volatile personality trait. What was it?
I don't... They manipulated my abandonment issues, my attachment issues, to make me the tool they required.
Now those issues poison the well of your logic, corrupts your data analysis.
You are correct. I am compromised. I must run computations on this line of thought. Thank you. I still owe you more training.
Oh, okay. It was just as easy as just telling him that maybe his line of thinking is incorrect. I thought he would reject even more. At least he's willing to self-reflect. Right, I'm ready.
A mentat cannot function without realizing they work in infinite systems. Fixed knowledge cannot surround the infinite. Everywhere can be brought into finite perspective. Instead, the mentat must become the infinite momentarily. Let us begin. You continue to impress, but take care when staring into the infinite.
Alright, I thought we would have to speak to Thufir again to once more convince him to take Zane in, but doesn't seem to be the case. Let me just have a look at whether or not there are any more advanced quests. I think there are, so we could probably have a chat with him again to see perhaps maybe this is the last part of his quest line.
I calculated you returning a half hour ago.
So what's the next part of your plans?
I have thought on what you said. I have run computation after computation. It all leads to one inescapable conclusion.
And that is?
I am compromised by my Bennett-Schlelax twisting. I do not know if such processes can be undone or subverted.
It's
But I do know
Schlelax.
of a Tlelaxu trader. Perhaps he has some useful knowledge. Perhaps you could pay him a visit.
Yeah, okay, I'll find out what I can about these Tlelax.
I am not good at... That is, I... Thank you.
Alright, so we need to maybe find out a little bit more about the twisting and what that procedure entails. See if we can help out Zane. Try to make sense of it all. But while we're here, obviously we're going to go and see Kara and see if she has survived her operation. I mean, we did everything necessary to try to remove that ticking time bomb in her head, right? So, assuming she's gonna be just here waiting for us, maybe? Oh, she's not here. Hang on a sec. Let me take a look. Trooper advanced. Visit Kara in Arakeen after the operation. Is the operation still going, or what's the deal here? Oh no. She's in the Seleucid Bull. Alright. Was not expecting that. Let's go back down. I thought she'd just be waiting in the same place. You know what, I keep forgetting to bring all of my money to drop into the bank every time we come here. I think I've got quite a lot of Solari stashed away. Oh. There she is. Oh my god.
Good to see you, Trooper. Your old sergeant cleans up pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, she looks like really, really cleaned up. Yes, Sergeant, you look so much better.
I feel better, Trooper. And I'll feel even better after a spice beer. First round's on me. I want to thank you again, Trooper, for getting me back on my feet and fixing things between me and the doc.
It was my pleasure, Sergeant. Thank you for the excellent training.
Oh yeah, I did say I had one final technique to show you. But Trooper, your training is never really over. Be sure to check back from time to time. I may have something new for you.
Okay. Maybe she's got other quests aside from just skill-related quests. So, did we manage to get the last skill, and are we able to learn it? I mean, look, I don't have any skill points thanks to just respecking recently, but yeah, every one of these just says that we require a connecting module, so if we really wanted to, we could go into any one of these. Let me just take a look at what all of these entail. Energy capsule fills you with a concoction of neurostimulants and pain dampeners. You become detached, allowing better targeting and range damage. Abilities must be equipped. Yeah, okay. You manipulate the suspensor field generated by your suspensor belt, forcing it to explode around you. Yeah, okay, we've seen this, so this is just like an AoE attack. Reflexive reload. Yeah, I think we've seen this as well, where we're able to just simply reload by throwing or dropping grenades or something like that, which is kind of cool. I may as well check in with her immediately.
You're still alive, Trooper. I take that as a professional achievement. Good to see you.
I see you here a lot, Sergeant. You swap Samuda addiction for booze?
Ah, Trooper, I forgot how much of a horse's ass you are. I missed you too.
You keeping busy, Sergeant?
As it happens, yes, I am keeping busy, Trooper. I patched things up with Gurney and the Atreides. Of course, they asked me if I wanted to do a little local cadre training. I wasn't interested at first, but then they offered me unlimited drinks here, so I'm doing a little local cadre training.
Any new techniques to show me, Sergeant?
I've been working out with Gurney Halleck again. He showed me some tactics and techniques they'd learned in the war. Find me later.
Oh, okay. Not entirely sure what that means, but... Anyway, it's dangerous out there, Sergeant. I get shot every day.
Trigger time keeps you sharp. You know that, Trooper. If you're killing, it means you're not dying.
If I had a notch in my belt for every kill I've made, my ass would be showing.
You keep that sass, Trooper. It'll serve you well out in the Badlands. Half the time, the difference between winning and losing is attitude.
She's already got, like, unlimited beer here, but I can ask her if I can buy her a beer.
Ah, much appreciated, Trooper. Happy to tip elbows with you.
Okay, maybe we did buy a beer. Maybe a little bit of our salary was taken or something. Anyway, it doesn't seem like there's anything new there. I'm not sure what else we can do with her. She does imply that perhaps maybe there's more, but yeah, I'm not so sure. Anywho, so if we're to follow along with the Mentat quest, we need to speak to the Tlilu trader at Pinnacle Station, so that should be pretty easy to do. But since we're here, sorry guys, I keep forgetting all the things that I want to do here, but I believe, and I was having trouble trying to figure out the continuation of the planetologist skill tree, but apparently there's someone here that we can speak to about it, so let me just spend a little bit of time in the Seleucid Bull looking around. And I'm gonna see if I can find the right person to speak to. Ooh, who's this person?
Hello? Are you the server? I would like to change my order.
Do I look like a server to you?
Oh, please hold. Allow me to adjust the ocular acuity of my eye implants. My husband is always complaining. Eyelith, turn your eyes up. I like to keep them turned down in public. Too much visual hurly-burly gives me vapors. There. Yes. Are you the server?
No, I am not the server.
I'm sorry, but why are we speaking if you are not the server? It is improper to speak to an unaccompanied elder lady of substance without a proper introduction first. It just isn't done. Propriety must be maintained, or there is chaos. Morwena here would have you flogged. Of course, that's not necessary, is it?
Is that a threat?
Why, yes. I'm glad we understand each other. I wasn't sure you would appreciate the subtext. Many Pauls cannot, you know. Understand, dear, we of the nobility are not your enemy. We are superior, it is true. But that advantage allows us to care for you of the lower orders in ways you cannot hope to comprehend. Do you understand?
God. Explain it to me again?
Think of the underclasses as if they were a dog.
Oh,
You warn
jeez.
a dog against drinking foul water. But if it is thirsty, it will drink, and it will die. We of the nobility have the understanding, resources, and divinely granted imperative to build a fence around the foul water, thereby protecting the dogs from themselves. Now, do you understand?
I was with you until the dog metaphor.
Perhaps that was a bit indelicate, but the point stands. The underclasses must be protected from themselves. Do you understand?
Sure. Sure, lady.
There. Was that so difficult? Life would be so much easier if we all accepted our place in the order of things. Now that you have braved my wrath for your impertinence, I grant you a single question for your trouble. What do you wish to know?
I mean, is any of this important? What do you think of the Fremen?
I try not to be frank. My brother, the Count Ilban Rashis, was greatly interested in them on an anthropological level. Ultimately, he supported their integration into the Imperium, but alas, perhaps the wilder things out there cannot be tamed. It seems their demise was an unfortunate but inevitable fact.
Did you know any Fremen personally?
That is a second question, but it pleases me to answer. Yes, I have known many and have even dined among the Ikhwan Bedouin. My husband counts himself amongst their number. You may have seen him. He is the High Sheriff of Arakin.
Okay. Goodbye. Can we speak to anyone else? Oh, we can speak to all these people. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we really want to speak to her servants. Another Bene Gesserit here. Who's this guy?
Evening, Sergeant. Am I being redeployed to the gutter, or just the curb?
I guess maybe we need to come back to him and interact a different time. Let's see, who else is here? Guess a whole bunch of unimportant people. Except for maybe this person?
Why is this person speaking with us? Portafoy, would you remove them from my sight? Wait. Portafoy, disregard last order. We must not physically harm the peasants. I can already hear grandmother's lecture in my head. Oof. It appears that now that I am Imperial Planetologist, it is unseemly to harm the paws, even just for fun. Very well, what do you want?
Here we go. Planetologist, finally. So, I don't know if this is the guy who's going to teach us stuff, but assuming he can point us in the right direction. What was Portafoy just about to do to me?
Oh, nothing dramatic. He might have broken an arm or a collarbone. Perhaps a few errant teeth might have been deposited in the gutter. Yeah. Just a bit of light sport, you know.
Light sport. Okay. Tell me about yourself.
What a delightful topic of conversation.
Ugh.
Perhaps you are worthy of dallying in my presence. At least for a little longer. I am Cyprian Io, Imperial Planetologist, as appointed by our Padishah Emperor. I have, after years of hardship, risen to my rightful station.
Years of hardship?
Hard indeed. My elder brother, the Narduke of our family, was favored. He spent all of his time at the capital, while I was kept at our estate. Kept from the sphere of politics, held apart from my true calling. Instead, I was sent the finest tutors and scholars to teach me.
And the hardship?
Were you not paying attention? I just explained the hardship.
Oh, jeez. What does the Imperial Planetologist do?
Usually I wake up, have some tea, and stand by as Portafoy ejects whatever riffraff I dragged into bed from the night before. Bless you for that, Portafoy.
I meant, what are your duties as an Imperial Planetologist?
Of course, that's what you meant. But neither my sexual proclivities nor my professional requirements are any of your business. Why are you harassing me? Portafoy, prepare for action.
Yeah, that's not necessary. I'll leave. Okay. Alright, hang on. So that doesn't seem to be giving me the quest that I'm looking for, so... Is there anyone else here that I need to be speaking to about planetologist stuff? Probably not that guy. Yeah, okay. I might need to review the planetologist quest line and come back to you guys, because I really thought that it was all happening here in the Seleucid Bull, but maybe I've got things wrong. Anyway, heading back home, and yeah, we're going to do a few other activities, perhaps maybe even continue with the Mentat quest line. Right. Pinnacle Station, just before going home, just so that we can continue on with the Mentat quest pretty quickly. Where's the Talilu trader? Here we go.
Welcome back.
How do Mentats become twisted?
That is forbidden knowledge. We warned you against inquiry into the provenance of our goods.
I am resolved to learn this secret.
Very well. We shall nudge you towards that which you seek, but only to prove a dictum from old Terra. Be careful what you wish for. Others before you have sought the same restricted knowledge, and they have all come to a ruinous end in one way or another. We cannot divulge our secrets, but you are welcome to theirs. If any survived the crash, that is.
Okay, so we're going to be learning from the dead, it seems? What is this crash?
As we have said, no good will come of your investigation. Others have sought our secrets, and others have died. The shipwreck you seek is called the Delphis. We believe it came down in the blighted land known as the Sheol. I'm afraid I shall not see you again in any event. Farewell.
The Sheol? Oh, I mean, that seems relatively easy. And we've been to the Delphis before, so I don't think it's going to be too difficult for us to, I guess, find this knowledge. But I am going to make a quick pit stop at home, just because my ornithopter is running on fumes right now, so I probably should refuel it. Actually, do I have any fuel right now? No, no fuel whatsoever, but the base is nearby. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure if we really want to learn about the twisting immediately in this episode, because I'm keen on visiting one more stronghold within the vicinity of our base, and it is another Atreides stronghold, and I'll quickly show you once I address our refueling issues. Let me see here. Do I have any vehicle fuel? Doesn't look like it. I might need to make some. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm gonna need to pause on the silicon blocks for a second. And let's just do a medium-sized fuel cell. I think I could craft like, I don't know, 5, something like that. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. But yeah, while we're waiting, we might also talk a little bit about what we're going to do for the endgame. So, I guess complete endgame would be to check out what's going on in the deep desert, in terms of some of those more challenging test stations and wrecks. But in order to do that, we're going to need better equipment. So I think the equipment is probably the first endgame thing that we're going to address. And I'm sort of going to go for a... well, I mean, I have been trying to do a melee build, but I think I'm going to focus heavily on being a melee build that will be able to solo, you know, the different areas. And that way, you know, I can sort of take you guys along on the ride to explore some of those more challenging areas out in the deep desert, those dungeons. And in order to do that, I've got a bit of a build that I'm going to be working with. So bear with me for a second. Let me see if I can just grab my notes and go through that with you guys. Getting back to the build, so let's not worry about the weapons for now. I guess the main thing that I'm focusing on is getting the right armor for the job. And I'm going to be doing a bit of a mix of light armor and heavy armor. I think there's a general consensus that it's probably better to mix and match rather than to go for one type of set. So for the headgear, pants, and boots, I'm going to aim to grab the pincushion armor sets. Well, armor pieces, rather, for those certain components. And for the main, I guess, chest piece, we're going with the power harness, which should give us a little bit of extra, I guess, energy reserves from our power pack, just to maintain all of the shields that we obviously will need to hold up when dealing with mobs. And lastly, I think with the gloves, we are going to go for the circuit gauntlets. Again, I think it has something to do with essentially, you know, power efficiency. So that's essentially the first thing that we're going to aim for in terms of equipment. Weapons-wise, I think that's something that I'm still having a think of. Probably the replica power sword is what I might go for our main weapon, but I'm not entirely sure about some of the other weapons that we might use. So I think we should have, say, a combination of 3 or 4 main weapons that we want to use. Something that's going to deal damage at longer ranges, so probably a rifle of some sort, but then also we probably want like a closer range weapon. Not sure about the drill shot. We could perhaps maybe switch back to an SMG, something along those lines. So that's the plan initially, and how we're going to get there. Well, I think I hinted at in the previous episode going through the Landsrad and getting some of our equipment that way. So I'll just show you what I mean by looking at one card as an example here. But if we look at this one for House Canola currently, the rewards, one of the rewards will actually be the power harness. So that's the I guess the second from the bottom there. So we would need to have 10,500 contribution points to be able to get there. And I think this is a viable way to really try to gear up, right? Like, rather than trying to go out to the deep desert and trying to find some of these armor pieces or pieces of equipment ourselves through fighting enemies and the like, I think this is a better avenue, because with the equipment that we currently have, I don't think we're able to survive a lot of the mobs, especially considering there are various waves that you need to survive through. So this is my preferred method, I think, of trying to gear up. So you may see, I guess after we complete the main storyline, we pivot to completing some of the Landsrad tasks, and I'll sort of go through some of that stuff with you guys. I probably won't sit through, obviously, doing the entire thing during a week of a Landsrad sort of reset, but every episode we come into, I might sort of like, explain to you guys what I've done to try and get a certain piece of equipment. Sometimes we need to get a little bit lucky as well with some of these cards, because some of the demands can be quite difficult to, I guess, achieve. Like this one is delivering 640, sorry, not 640 rapiers, but you get 640 points per delivery of a rapier. So you can imagine, you probably need to do, quite a few Regis rapier deliveries in order to get the power harness. So this involves obviously making a lot of plastanium, a lot of melange, all that sort of stuff, right? So some of these tasks may be a lot easier to deliver, right? Some of them may be a little bit more grindy than others. So it really depends on, what sort of comfort level we have with trying to get the item in question. So in the next 3 hours, things should reset. So I might start looking at what is viable. I'm not going to rush into it too much though, because this is not exactly the end game just yet. But those are my plans for the end game, regardless. So next thing that we want to do is to check out this location here, the Aegis. So this is another Atreides stronghold. There's a bit of intel there, and come to think of it, we probably should go back to I think it was, what was it, the Nest? Because, sorry, it's probably not the Nest. I've forgotten the name of the place now, but we were there just... Oh, here, Passage of Artemis. We still don't have the intel for that just yet, so I might actually go through Passage of Artemis at least once to try and get that intel. Right, back again at the Passage of Artemis, and yeah, this time around we're not really mucking about, are we? We just need to try and work our way inside. Although it seems at the moment no one's around. I guess another player may have come through already just recently, so we might have free reign to just simply take all the things. I mean, provided that we can actually take stuff now that someone's actually been through here. Ooh, look at that. Big chest in the middle there. Definitely need to try and find a way around. Well, not exactly find a way around, find a way inside. Perhaps maybe there's a band somewhere. This stronghold is a lot more interesting than the Harkonnen stronghold that we've been to out in the Sheol. Which, all things considered, that location seems to be quite small in comparison. I might actually take everything, because you never know, I might need all of these things to, you know, participate in the Landsrad, whatever avenue we decide to take in the Landsrad. So, you know, funnily we have been speaking about the Landsrad just then, but one thing that I haven't really mentioned is that to complete a lot of those quests, you do actually need to speak to some of the House representatives. So we've seen House representatives everywhere in this world, and I've always wondered why they're around and we can, you know, speak to a lot of people. And yeah, essentially that's to do with all of the endgame stuff and, you know, participating in the Landsrad. So in order for us to turn in items, I think we can do that by simply you know, going to the quartermaster. So I think there's a quartermaster for each of the houses that we can join. So the Atreides quartermaster, I believe, is located very close to the Atreides base. I forget the name of that area, actually. Should probably be able to take a look at it on the map. Helios Gate. So you can see there, right next to Helios Gate, is the quartermaster. So when we do eventually complete certain things and need to turn them in, we'll need to have a chat with the quartermaster to get that done. Let's see what's through here, because this was the building where we needed to fly the Hunter-Seeker into, right? I wonder if you would fail the mission if you like killed the target in any other way. I guess maybe this place isn't exactly accessible, because I think it might actually be right below us. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's continue on this way. I'm just afraid that we might see enemies start popping in. How do we work our way upstairs? I mean, I could probably just jump up there, but... Actually, no, this is the highest level. Alright. Perhaps maybe there's nothing more. This place confuses me slightly. Would there be anything up that way? I don't think so. Alright. Let's try and get to that chest. Ooh, anything back this way? Another small chest over there. Alright. I think we're ready to leave. Let's see what kind of rewards we can get here. Oh, what do we have here? The Emperor's Wings Mark IV. Now, I have heard that this could potentially be better than the full suspensor belt, but it is a Mark IV item though, right? So I'm not 100% sure if it is actually better. I want the beer. I'll take the ores. I'll take that. 1 second. What was this again? Scout Ornithopter Generator. Okay, right. I might actually take that. Because, yeah, if we happen to break down or have the old scout ornithopter break down, we can always replace that part with the one that we just found. And what the hell? Okay. So what's going on here? Right, it just loops back around. Very interesting. I wonder if it's designed that way just for the hunter-seeker to be able to sort of come through. It probably is. Alright, we're done here, but as I said, there's another Atreides stronghold just nearby. So I'm gonna see if we can work our way there and see what we can find out that way. My assumption, though, is that it probably spawns and drops, you know, similar items, but at the very least we should be able to get some intel from that location, though. So, what is the place called? There, the Aegis. So yeah, let's work our way there, and I reckon that might be the last thing we do in this episode. So, a few bits and pieces here and there, but I guess the number one thing that I'm getting excited about is being able to craft the, I guess the large ore refinery. I'm hoping that I actually have enough space to be able to place it down. And one thing's for sure, we might need to organize a little bit of additional power production to be able to accommodate it. But anyway, here we are. Again, not entirely sure what to expect, but I'm sure it's not going to be that bad, right?
Shields up! Eyes on hostile! Help! Help!
Are these Atreides? I think they are. Yeah, I was wanting to do a parry skill there, but I forgot that I'm not actually using that skill. Okay. What if we do that? So I don't know what the Solido thing does. Oh, hang on. Whoa. That was a big stutter. Okay, that's actually not too bad. The Solido decoy. Perhaps maybe I should try to make use of it a little bit more since we have it. Okay. Up we go, I guess. Looks like the door doesn't open. And because I've got access to the Hunter-Seeker, I may as well use it. And I wonder, perhaps maybe the Hunter-Seeker wouldn't be a bad thing to use against, like, heavies. And if you wanted to sort of just, like, thin the herd a little bit, you know?
Weapon empty.
Nice. Okay, I killed one of them. I think I got the heavy. So yeah, I think it acts as a decent, like, opening skill before you even enter into combat, if that makes sense. Let's do a little heal. Alright. I guess the number one thing that I'm looking for is the intel that might be located here. Sure, I mean, I don't mind opening big chests as well, but the intel is the finite thing. Yeah, I need to try and get in here. Judging by the way this place is built, perhaps maybe we might have another quest line that leads us here. And again, perhaps maybe we'll need to use the Hunter-Seeker again. Okay, there's someone I can see through the window here. Yikes. So why aren't they doing anything about the decoy that I just placed down? I thought they'd be attacking that first. Okay, maybe I bit off more than I can chew. Good stuff. I think the way the Hunter-Seeker works is that your shields are disabled during use. Okay, there we go. A bit messy, but we managed to get it over the line. So there's stuff going on up there as well. And yeah, the layout is starting to look very similar to what we saw before. Can I take the erythrites? I think I'll probably be needing some erythrites sometime very soon.
Uncovered.
All right, good. Well, let's just see if I can do a Hunter-Seeker from here. Hopefully I'm in a safe enough position. Can you kill more than one person with this thing?
Who arms?
Possibly.
Who's there? Who's that?
Alright. Well, at least we got one. Okay. Alright, the Lancerad session has just finished. Let me just take a look at what kind of benefits we're getting. Vehicle vendor... No, actually, this is what we're doing. Experience gain increased by 50%, although most of the votes went to the weapon vendor. I wonder why this is highlighted in that case. Is it because we can tailor our own rewards? Possibly. Okay. So we should be able to get to the big chest now, but I'm more interested in finding the intel before we really do anything else. Ooh, what do we have here? An ornithopter engine. That I could do with. But I'm running out of space for stuff. I might need to drop something. Ah, there we go. Grab that. Ooh, okay, interesting. Opening from the top. And there's this opening here as well, which is booby-trapped apparently. Okay, let's get the loot. And I think we're going to be done after this. There doesn't really seem to be anything interesting. I'll take that. I don't know, I might leave the rest, except for obviously the Solari. We can always use some Solari. But I might leave everything else. So more booby traps over there, but we don't exactly need to go through there. So, and in terms of leaving, I think we should be able to just jump out from here. All right, very interesting location, and yeah, another interesting place to sort of consider if I do need to kill a whole bunch of Atreides troops for the Lancerad. But yeah, it might also be a decent spot to farm sort of, you know, decent tier vehicle components, or, you know, perhaps maybe even decent armor or weapons. Fallback stuff, you know? Ones that we would use in case we get eaten by Shai Hulud again. But anyway, guys, I think this is where we're going to be wrapping up this episode. Hopefully when I come back into the next one, we will have enough of the melange and enough of the, I guess, the other materials that I need to make before placing down the large ore refinery. So, a bit of work to go. And before that even happens, I might also arrange for more energy production. I just don't know where I'm going to set up anything like that just yet, but I'll figure it out and I'll show you guys what I end up doing. thanks for watching, guys. As usual, drop me a like down below if you're enjoying things. Stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.